You know, the high-stakes world of semiconductor manufacturing is like a global chess match, where national strategy and corporate ambition are colliding like never before. And right at the center of China's big push for silicon self-sufficiency is one company, SMIC. Their 2025 performance, well, it's not just another financial report. It's really a statement of intent in the middle of this broader chip war. So the question is, how are they doing it? And what does it really mean for the rest of the world? Let's break it all down.
So this really is the fundamental question they're facing. I mean, with all the geopolitical headwinds and just intense competition, how do you not only survive but actually thrive? Well, SMIC's strategy for 2025 gives us a fascinating, data-driven answer, and it all starts with a number that kind of took everyone by surprise.
And the first piece of that answer is just sheer scale. SMIC absolutely shattered expectations, pulling in a record-breaking $9.37 billion in revenue. That is a massive 16.5% jump in a single year, which tells you that the intense domestic demand and their strategic pivot are really paying off in a big way.
Now, this growth wasn't just some kind of fluke. It actually solidified SMIC's position as the world's second-largest pure-play chip foundry. They're not just a regional player anymore. They are a formidable force on the global stage, and believe me, their performance has ripple effects across the entire tech industry.
So, how exactly did they build this $9 billion engine? Let's deconstruct what was a year of what a lot of analysts are calling counter-trend growth, basically succeeding precisely when the broader environment suggested they really should be struggling.
Okay, this is where the story gets really interesting. All of these numbers, they tell the exact same story. This is a company firing on all cylinders. Revenue and profit are up sharply, sure, but look at the gross margin, up 3 full percentage points. That tells you they aren't just selling more, they're selling more efficiently. And the real kicker here is that capacity utilization number, 93.5%. Their factories are running nearly full tilt, which is a powerful indicator of some intense, almost insatiable demand for their chips.
And to really understand that demand, we have to look past all the headlines about the world's smallest, most advanced chips. See, SMIC's success lies in a different, and you could argue a much more strategic domain, mastering the technologies that power pretty much everything else.
We're talking about what the industry calls mature process nodes. Now, don't think of these as the flashy Formula One engine. Think of them as the incredibly reliable, super high-volume engine in something like a Toyota Camry. While those bleeding-edge 3-nanometer chips get all the attention, these workhorse nodes, they're the ones inside your car's safety system, your smart thermostat, and the power management circuits in just about every device you own. They are the invisible backbone of our digital world.
And this slide right here brilliantly illustrates their focused execution. They weren't just pumping out old designs, they were actively innovating on these really crucial platforms. For example, they completed key development on 28-nanometer eFlash, which is essential for the brains in advanced driver assistance systems. They also pushed out new design kits for 65-nanometer chips, which are critical for clear smartphone signals, and for 90-nanometer processes that are key to efficient power management in everything from EVs to smart grids.
So, the crucial point to understand here is that this is a very deliberate strategy. This isn't about a race to the smallest possible transistor. No, this is about a race to dominate essential, high-volume, and highly profitable markets that really form the bedrock of the modern economy.
So, how does this really technical strategy translate into the products that you and I use every single day? This is where we can see a direct impact, and we can track a really fascinating shift in what the world is buying.
Okay, so let's set the scene with this snapshot from 2024. Think of this as the before picture. You can see a big slice for smartphones and an even bigger one for general consumer electronics. Now I want you to pay close attention to that industrial and auto slice. It's just under 8%. Go ahead and remember that number.
Okay, now look at 2025. The smartphone slice actually shrank a bit, but consumer electronics, it exploded to over 43% of their total revenue. And that industrial and automotive slice, it jumped all the way to 11%. And this is not some random fluctuation. This is a seismic shift, and it tells a really powerful story about where the future of tech is headed. Let's just isolate the two biggest movers for a second. That surge in consumer electronics is being driven by the explosion of on-device AI in everything, from smart speakers to your cameras. And that jump in industrial and auto, well, that reflects a massive demand for smarter electrified vehicles and a big strategic push for what's called localization. That is, Chinese companies building their supply chains with domestic chip makers like SMIC to reduce reliance on foreign suppliers.
And here's how it all connects back to you. Remember those mature nodes we talked about? The 90-nanometer process is what enables that sophisticated power management in new EVs. The 28-nanometer embedded flash is what makes your car's advanced safety systems faster and more reliable. This is the direct line from a decision made in a fabrication plant to a feature in your life.
So what's next? Well, based on this performance, SMIC is moving into 2026 with a strategy that analysts are calling defensive offense. It's a high-stakes plan to both protect their gains in the mature node market while aggressively expanding their capacity to capture even more.
This here is management's official guidance, and it is incredibly confident. They're not just aiming to grow, they are publicly committing to growing faster than their global competitors, all while maintaining this massive level of investment. It's a really bold declaration of intent.
But all this confidence rests on a huge bet versus a pretty significant risk. The bet is that this domestic demand, driven by localization, is going to be sustainable and just keep fueling their growth. The risk? A nearly 37% surge in their unsold inventory, which is now sitting at a record $3.5 billion. If that consumer and auto demand suddenly slows down, they could be forced to write down the value of all those chips, and that would hit their profits hard. It's a real high-wire act.
And yet they are absolutely doubling down. SMIC plans to spend another $8.34 billion on capital expenditures in 2026. That is the exact same colossal amount they spent in 2025. This isn't just staying the course. This is flooring the accelerator. It signals they truly believe their bet is going to pay off.
Which leaves us with one final critical question. In this global race for semiconductor sovereignty, is building out massive capacity at this incredible speed the ultimate strategic advantage? Or, if the market turns, could it become their greatest vulnerability? The answer to that question is going to define not just SMIC's future, but the shape of the global tech landscape for years to come.